peace, love, and law, everyone. We're going to be getting started here in just a few minutes, family. We'll be getting started. So allow us a few more minutes. Welcome to In God We Trust Academy, the Lawman episode 5. Alrighty, how y'all feeling up in here today?
All is well. How you, bro?
Doing pretty good right now, man. No complaints at all. Just having a little few technical difficulties, but we're gonna jump it anyway, man. I'll figure out the rest later.
I know that's right.
Yeah, we gotta keep it pushing, man. Nothing can stop what we gotta do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I charged my camera up. Other computer wasn't coming on. So I was like, I don't care if we had to go back to the old way of doing work session, just us in the group. And hey, we're gonna have to do it the way it's gotta be done. But it's my other computer. But anyway, it'll it's trying to come on now, so but I ain't gonna worry about it. All right, so we got a few announcements to make to you guys. We do got the Divine Protection Bundle for those of you want to know. It is the Declaration of Trust, the Private Administration class, as well as the Asset Protection class. Okay. So doing that is going to last May the 6th, 2026. So that is the bundle of the month. Great classes for sure. And the Declaration of Trust classes are do-it-yourself, learn how to do your own trust. Plenty of examples, etc., templates, all of that in there for you guys as well. So that class alone was, I think, 200 or something. I don't know. But for all three, for sure, definitely a great classes. And for you to literally learn as much as possible and, handle your business. All right, you can go to ingodwetrustacademy.com to see that. Surety Ship class is coming up April the 27th, the 28th, 29th, and May the 1st and May the 2nd. That is 5 classes, 5 courses, 6 ebooks. One of the ebooks is a template ebook, right? So we do got an ebook for each day. People have been asking me how long is class going to be. Look, I do not know. I don't put a time on myself. I ain't got nothing to do. This is what I my service to opportunity to offer you. So this is what I'm doing. I don't really have a time limit on it, but it will start at 7 to Central Time. I know that's late to some, or in some that's whatever. But at the end of the day, it will be recorded and it will be yours for later preferences as well. Um, so I do know that. So that's again, we're gonna say I'll say at least if it's 5 classes, we pushing 10 hours with all 5 classes together. So that's a lot of hour and time to put in, and some might exceed more than that based upon you guys' questions and interactions and stuff like that as well too. So, but that is also 222 again for 5 classes. So at the price of normally what I would do for one. So yeah, great class, and I've already read all of them myself. Kind of went on some of them the other day over TikTok, just kind of scanning and reading through them with people, and just getting y'all ready to get your mind wrapped around surety ship. So as I always tell y'all, like I really be teaching these classes beforehand, but if you're there, you're there. God's Law My Salvation, Saturday, June 27th, Atlanta, Georgia, where we're going to be at. We do have locked in. We're going to lock in the venue this week, so that is pretty much done. We finally found the one we want, and so you can donate in person or on live stream. This is about majority status, knowing how to keep your majority status, how to stay in the majority status, how to fully exercise your rights, due process, jurisdiction, and just understand the legal remedies and things to take. Getting rid of all of the confusion for you and just letting you find the straight and narrow path of dealing with these things. As I say, law governs all events, and it is written. If there is something for you to do to exercise a right, claim, etc., then it is written. There's no theory or guessing that you have to do. We can point it to the law, show you exactly what it is that you need to do, how to do it, and hey, keep going from there. The rest is just truly having understanding as well. But I always say this though, when it comes to even being here in work session, classes, whatever, like if this is not what you about, if you're really not about taking this day in, right? Day in and day out. If that's not what you about, then I'm not for you. I'm not the person you need to be speaking with, because I can't help you because you're not going to help yourself. So this is for the people who stays on Joshua 1:8, right? And I'm gonna have one of y'all in here pull that up and be ready to read that, and then somebody else be ready to read Hosea 4:6, and then somebody else be ready to read. I want to say we'll read Romans 13 and just read till I tell you to stop. So 3 different people. Y'all get there for me, please, if y'all don't mind. Can y'all handle that?
We got you.
All right. Say less. We still got the raffles going on. For those of you that are interested in that, the polling happens June the 20th, 2026, 7 days before the great conference. So 3 p.m. Central Time is when we'll be doing that. However, we're not going to be doing the event, but we still doing the card giveaway. We're not going to be able to do the event because I understand the timing and with people just going through. It's the gas high, all this time. It's a lot going on, and I understand expenses and stuff like that when it comes to trying to make it to both this event and the next event that's going to be carrying on. So I get it, definitely do. And with that being said, so we're going to do that cash prizes giveaway as well. Anybody that does, some of y'all be sending it to me. Don't send it to me. It goes to MNRP 0619. All you got to do is read the flyers, and it will tell you directly what to send it to. Y'all making me do extra work by having to pass your money on. But yeah, so make sure you just read and do exactly what it says do. Everything will be just fine for that. Now, do understand, for every 2 tickets you get an opportunity to get a ebook. So unlawful repossession is there, declaratory judgment, Also, killing the presumption of death, the foreclosure, and the creditor slayer. And I think it's one more, but they're all there for you if you're interested. So do know that. Also, Tuesday, the FCRA nights, which is Fair Credit Reporting Act nights. We have a series going on, dope series that has been real good. I've enjoyed it so far for sure. I hope you guys have too. I think I've seen a lot of people that do credit repair and stuff like that in there. So I just, and they've also been learning extra as well. So I appreciate you guys for showing up and, giving your um, expertise and experiences in the class and dropping comments and stuff like that. I just appreciate the engagement all throughout the group. Y'all been doing great. Even with the work sessions the other day, y'all did great. That's what I want to see. So, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. It's Tuesday nights. You got to make sure that you join the private group in God We Trust Academy on Facebook. At we do it every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're actually on volume 4 right now. Guys, don't forget, if there was a video that was up in the group and it goes out, you have to let me know, because especially my lives, they do 30 days. After 30 days, it goes away. So I try to download them and then put them up as well if they go away. So yeah, but y'all got to be watching too. I can't do it by myself. Still got game nights every Friday night to still be going on. Sometimes we will inform you if we don't have it. If you pay on the night that we don't have it, we will inform you, or we can either give you your money back or you can carry it back or carry it over to the next Friday. Totally up to you in that. All right. So other than that though, everybody in here doing great.
Blessed to be alive, blessed to be with you.
Absolutely, man. Always glad. Sorry, who want to read that first scripture for me?
I'm ready when you are.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
I got Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart from thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Absolutely, amen. Hosea 4 and 6. Who got me on that? Oh man, somebody got me. Hosea 4 and 6. Who got me?
I'll read it again if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we got my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
Thank you. So one, study the law, success, prosperity, and do what the law say. The other, reject knowledge of the law, don't do what the law say. You're going to be destroyed for lack of knowledge of the law. Also, go and read Romans 13.
I have it. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
It says, "Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he heareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must need, I'm sorry.
Stop at the
Wherefore
next
ye
verse.
must.
Keep going.
I see, yeah, I need answer. Okay, babe, sorry. Hold on. Hold on, baby. Where wherefore ye must needs be subject not only for wrath but for conscience sake.
Right
For
there.
this cause,
That's good.
right there. Okay.
That's good. Right
Sorry.
there. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, you will always be governed. You will always be held to law. Always. No matter what. So that this is what is to keep man in order. This is what keeps man from destroying him, her, herself. Okay? This is what this does. This is what it's for. So make sure we study. Make sure we stay in the law. Make sure we study it and do everything that's written within it so that you may be prosperous and have great success. But if you reject the knowledge of the law, then you're headed to destruction. So just want to make sure that we understand those things before we continue forward. Now, here's for the people who, because a lot of people like to say, oh, well, Christ came and the law was done away with. No, it was not. You know what Christ said? Do anybody know what he said? Go and read, start at John, I know it's John 13. I know it's John 13. Let's see. John 13. I'm going to say around about 30, somewhere off in there. Let's see. He predicted Peter denial. All right. So now, he said, I give, it's in 34. So John 34. Go read John 34.
A new commandment I have give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
And what's the new commandment? What's the new command?
To love one another.
Right. So, and he's basically saying if you love, then the rest of the commandments are fully taken care of. So you got to understand this. The law was never done away with. He just gave you a new command. It's never gone. The only thing that was gone is you having to sacrifice these things in the consequences of your sin. So what you got to understand is you're going to suffer the consequences for sinning, but your soul is not destroyed anymore. Got to understand that part. So it is you not going to be in torment or destroyed in that manner anymore. That's done. The greatest sacrifice ever could be made, right? Now, you got to understand this part, whether you want to say Yahshua, Jesus, whatever. How many of you know, and this before we get started, how many of you know that if you say if it's possible, it can happen, that means it's going to happen? Like if you say 1 out of a million, 1 out of a trillion, 1 out of whatever, that means that it's going to happen at least one time. Do y'all understand that? If there's a possibility means there is this one time and everything is aligned perfectly right, then this is going to happen. One time. So there's no doubt at all if there was a man who came and fulfilled every single thing, who was the law manifested in the flesh. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely happened. Even if you want to just look at it by numbers, by math. Math absolutely says it happened. Since people like to be direct with numbers, math said it happened. No matter what. All right, so with that being said, this is why you got to understand, like I'm just helping you understand the law is never done away with. Ever. It was what was going to happen to man. See, now you ain't gonna never be wiped out no more. It was to the point to where you was going to be wiped completely out. Everything about you. That's not gonna happen no more. And the reason why it ain't gonna happen is because of that. God finds favors every time in the man and the people who keep what? The law. So long as you look around and you see law is established and order, etc., and justice is being upheld, then you ain't got to worry. You ain't got nothing to worry about. And that's going to always exist. because people were taught it. They were taught to live it. They was taught to recognize it, as you are doing right now. And a lot of people gonna have a hard time understanding that, but that's okay. But I just want y'all to understand, like I always say, it's not done away with at all. So he fulfilled the law. The law was fulfilled. He said, "Do as I do and do greater." Right? You have to understand that. So let's correct ourselves and let's move in that way and let's do what we're supposed to do, because a lot of people think that the law is done away with, but yet they is in trouble. Yeah, you don't have to go make sacrifices and all of that, but you still held accountable to the actual law itself. Yeah, that's still there. All right. Let's hit this record button for today. I think we're gonna finish up declaratory judgment. We're gonna hear some testimonies if we got any. And I hope y'all took heed to our little spiritual session right there.
Fire, fire.
So, all right, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In God We Trust Academy, the Lawman episode, volume 5. And again, we on a new journey. Still pushing. Well, the same journey. Just in a we'll say a different dimension right now. Because we excel in the mind, the soul, the spirit, the body itself, right? That's what we're doing here. So it's always a beautiful thing to be able to do that. Welcome, 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 and I always appreciate each and every last one of you for your, participation and making this possible and doing everything that we're doing to reach others. Number one, work sessions, no matter how you got here, everything's been by word of mouth. Whether you listen to me, myself, and came here, or somebody else told you, whatever, we don't advertise from this. So this grows because of you telling somebody. So I appreciate you guys as well. And, just continue to be and do you, man. And thank God for everything that has taken place up until this very moment, allowing this moment for us to have the meeting of the minds here today and being able to do within our own right mind and free will. Thank God for free will, because I don't think you would want to exist if you didn't have that. So with that being said, man, all praises go to the Most High, and we just give thanks. All right. All right, so everything that you guys hear from this point forward is for educational, religious purposes only. Anybody seeking any form of legal advice, please do seek a legal advisor, as it is my religious duty to speak my religious truth and experiences here with you guys today. Any testimonies? You got the floor.
Hello. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I got one.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so I got pulled over for a traffic violation about maybe a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
Um, they came, they took my car, they took me to jail. They found a way to get into the car and everything, so I let them do it. Make a long story short, um, I fought it. They didn't show up at the initial court date. They told me to come back, yada yada yada. And pretty much when I came back, they said, "Oh well, we still have a year to file our charges and this and that." But in actuality, they really don't, because I showed up in good faith. And on that initial court date, that time started to tick.
Yep.
So they tried to press, and I filed my motion for dismissal. And what was it? They didn't read me my Miranda rights. What was it? It was the due process. They violated that. And so when I filed the motion, the attorney was like, "Hey, no, I don't want you to file this. We should file something different." They fought me every step of the way, every single step. Oh, I never knew that courts can lose 50 pages of documents, but they did. They lost my motion the very first time, said that I never filed it, gave it to a whole different courthouse, or not courthouse, but courtroom with a judge. He ruled on it. Didn't realize that this wasn't even a case that was his.
Mm.
So I'm like, how is it that you guys are even doing this? So I redrafted everything, told the lawyer straight up, look, if you don't file this, you're fired. So he filed the motion. The courts turned around and granted the motion, which was for them to dismiss all the charges. And so the judge granted it. They dismissed it, and then we turned around, and then I went for record sealment. The judge was reluctant about that aspect, and I'm like, no, I want this all the way completely gone. And so we went on and did that. I finally got all the paperwork just recently, and everything is good to go now. But the whole point was is like they're gonna fight you every step, no matter what. But when you know that you're in a win situation, that's when they're gonna start really showing their behind. They don't want you to win at all, and it was just super crazy. But yeah, that was my first victory period in courts.
Man,
They're fighting. They say that they're fighting for us, but it's really just for the law. And so, like, you're fighting against your attorney and the DA and the judge.
yep. But see, this is
And
why.
it is what it is. It just makes you a lot. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. We got a little delay. Keep going.
Or it just kind of just shows, and I was talking to my cousin about it, and I was just like, yeah, bro, we just have to fight against everybody. Especially when you're right. They don't want to. They don't want you to do. They don't want you to to win at all.
Exactly. And thank you for sharing that with us, brother.
Yes, sir.
Just you guys, everyone listening and just hearing what he said, like this is why I said, like, I've been telling y'all, and this is what the conference is about. Like, everybody out here, y'all know how many people step into this, because I did it, and I know y'all did too. When you first stepped into this, you was like, what a process it, what a document I need to file. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you sit back and you look at it, like, okay, you can't be like that. Like, it's not a document that you can ever file that's gonna take care of you like that. Like, and I'm saying, far as a one kill shot document that you file in the county and it's over with. No, you at a constant protection of your rights, a constant protection of your rights at all times. You understand what I'm saying? So this ain't something that just goes away, or that's why I said study the law day and night, meditate on it, because you got to be prepared. Even the ones, you got to realize the Pharisees knew the law. They quoted the law, but they was over there doing wrong in every aspect. And they was, they was doing snake stuff. So it's the same situation. You got a lawyer sitting up here telling this man not to protect his own damn rights. Are you like, how serious is that? You want to see me go to jail? You want to see me with this bond and all this stuff connected? So now the point is now if they dismiss this, bro, and they took you to jail, man, go get some righteousness about that. Take their butts to federal court for everything that they done. You know what I mean? And I say that and I mean that because doing that to you, they dismiss it, they fail to prosecute. Yeah, so that means y'all failed to prosecute because of some form of wrong that has been done, no matter what it is. And they didn't show up to court. They extended the date and still couldn't handle the situation. So it's just like so much. And even the lawyer itself, that's negligence. That would have been complete negligence. And you're supposed to be able to sue this person because of their negligence. Especially when you go and do it and you have to do it. It's like, why you ain't did, So.
I got a question.
What's up? No. You might got 3 years when it deals with them, but you still got time. You said this happened last year, so you ain't nowhere near out of time.
Because I know I was doing research, and I know one of them, I think it was like on a state level, they were saying you have to file right when it happens. But I'm like, how are you supposed to file right when it happens when you don't know if you're going to lose or win the case?
It don't matter. If you know the law and you know you was harmed, like you still can hit them with a civil claim. It don't matter.
Okay.
Nah, there is no. Somebody said no statute of limitations and exclusive equity. It's not, but exclusive equity means that you're going to do some type of injunction or something of that nature that you want to be done. I'm talking about you getting rewarded for some money. You need to be paid. Shoot. I mean, you could do the
Nah,
injunction
that's not.
to adhere to any other thing like that. So a bill in equity, yeah, I mean that's cool. You still go take it to court though if you want to
Okay.
do it. And basically, what they saying is, send an invoice and all of that stuff for your harm if you got um a fee schedule and all of that type of stuff. But there's still if you want to talk about at remedies at law according to statute, I think it's 3 years. You have to look it up in your state though, or according to the federal as well. But it's something of that
Okay.
nature. But it's different routes you could take. I mean, you could go straight to them and show them, send a notice of liability about what has taken place before you enter into suit. So that starts your bill in equity or whatever you want to say in that particular matter.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. All right. Anybody else?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Who am I speaking with?
This is Nadine. Hi.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? You in China?
This long time no see. No, I have had a long year. It's been a ride. So I just wanted to come in and just kind of give you just a little update and a small win. Not much yet, but it's everything is in the working. So the lawsuit that I have that I've been working on for like a year with this attorney that's cost a lot of money. We finally got in front of the judge after I think it was like 3 delays, and that was from since I want to say October. So we finally got into the court. I think it was last week or the week before last. And the opposing party, the attorney didn't show. They had some other attorney come in. Essentially, he didn't know anything about the case. So, long story short, the judge asked, why wasn't the first order followed? They had nothing, and so we're just waiting for the order from the judge to, basically either strike their pleadings or hold them in contempt because they've done a lot of things since we were the last in front of the judge. So that's that. That whole uh, investment has pretty much been I won't say it's a loss yet. We'll see. We could we some money back from winning this case. But that's still up in the air. And I will say that's a big lesson learned. However, I got here because I learned about law. So that actually saved us a little bit, but actually doesn't save us because we end up having to hire an attorney. But that's neither here nor there. What happened on the flip side is that I did get arrested for trespassing on the property that my company purchased. And I had to go to court uh, earlier in the month. And what I did notice is when I got in there, they were just like, it was like a clockwork of, hey, come up here, get this paper, sign here, plead guilty. No, no. So the judge asked me, the people that are in there, I don't know what they're called, but they came and asked me to sign some paperwork. I'm like, I sign as if I don't know what they're talking about. I said, how can I plead on something where I haven't even seen, what you guys are charging me with? And the judge said, oh, you don't know what you're being charged with? I said, no, I haven't even gotten, the indictment or whatever it's called. Apparently it's called the accusation. I said, I haven't gotten anything. So how can I plead on that? So he took a step back. He's like, okay, have a seat. And this was when the place was kind of full, I took a seat. This man had me wait to the very last person. So he goes, everybody who went before me was like maybe about four of the people who didn't have an attorney and didn't want to plead the guilty. He gave them a month to get another attorney. However, he looked at me, he gave me 2 months. to get an attorney, and he went out of his way to like explain to me, you know, what it is like when you represent yourself, or what the benefit of having an attorney and all of those things. And so went he went the extra mile. And I want to say it's because I spoke up. And I don't think anyone else in the court that day actually spoke up. And so that was a win in itself. So that's that. Second part, I did do my homework, but I was in the middle of traveling from the country here back home. So I didn't get a chance to read it.
You
But
said you was leaving China. You said what now?
no, I was in the country in South Carolina, the country part of South
Oh, oh, okay. Thought you said you was in the in between traveling from leaving the country or something. I don't know. That's what I thought you.
No. We've only done domestic traveling.
Oh, okay.
but but I did do my homework. But doing the homework, just getting in the groove of doing that. I was already in preparation of writing my motion to dismiss, and in the alternative, what is it? To stay the case because of this civil case, because in order for me to be charged with criminal trespass, I have to be without authority, or whoever it was had to be authorized. And so that's pretty much what I'm attacking. Like the person who said that I couldn't be there, they weren't authorized to tell me that. So that's the case I'm going to make against the state. And so I drafted that, and I did my homework for the motion to dismiss. So I just want to tell you that. I was going to email it to you, but I was like, no, I was going to put it on the Facebook page. I'm like, no, I get so distracted on there. So I just kind of been off of social media because it's been a huge distraction for me. So I've been trying to discipline myself, for like a month or so. Um, yeah, but that's what I have.
All righty then. Well, we appreciate you and thank you for sharing that with us. And the thing I want you guys to know is like, even when you're dealing with situations where it's about a corporation and you feel and you have to do in the need of having a lawyer, etc. The main thing is you can hold them to negligence if you find out or you know for a fact that they don't do everything that they're supposed to do in protecting of your entity, etc. And that's very important because without that, that's where we start falling into like we just heard with brother Kevin Smith. Like I'm saying, he literally was not wanting to file to dismiss the case and talking about file something else different. But when he literally filed it, it went in his favor. So I just, I'm always tell y'all keep studying, keep knowing, lock in, and just hold everybody, any and all people accountable to what it says. Every situation that you could pretty much think of is governed by the law, guys. Seriously. Whether it's by law or strictly in equity, however it may be, but it's all one and the same. They tie in together, they run parallel to one another, and it's there to protect us, keep us from harm. But we got to make sure that we actually follow through and do what these, you know, what we supposed to do as well. So just stay up on top of what is. Read your court procedures. Understand that. Um, you know what court you're in, what you're dealing into. Know if that court has actual, real personal jurisdiction to even hold you. Is it a competent court that can offer you everything to make sure that full procedure and due process, et cetera, is fully followed through? Um, just everything, man. That's why this is like a never ending type of situation because different things happen. You got to make sure that you have your objections, exercise your rejections. I seen something I was doing and helping somebody, and they had a motions of they had a resistance, and the lawyer wrote a resistance to a motion that was filed, and I was like, that's interesting that they call it a resistance, and they literally wrote everything about why this motion shouldn't be accepted, et cetera, and all of that, and then they gave. It's basically was having like I guess getting ready before they had the hearing on the motion, but you know, even knowing that, and I read a lot of court cases just to see what type of documentations do lawyers file. What do they say when they file them? I was like, I've never seen one titled "Resistance to the Motion of What's Whatever," and I was like, wow, I ain't never seen that before. But that was dope to see that. That was dope to know. So that's why when y'all was asking me about, what if you in a place that they don't have, it's not a court of record or court recorders or stuff like that. So it's like what I'm saying is you need to make sure you file in that case your objections. It's like if you don't have anybody there that is, keeping up and typing up the whole. What do they call them? Trying to think of the name. My mind going blank right now. But
Stenographer.
yes, thank you. But having those there and being able to have everything written out, etc. But that's why it's so important for you to write your resistance to situations or your objections within that happen and make sure that you file those and place them on the record, especially in those particular little municipal courts and stuff like that where it's like bench trial. Like you just want to make sure that you say that no, I did not that you did a motions for to dismiss for personal jurisdiction because this court forum does not have the power. Well, actually, you can say it don't have the power, or you can just say that that its procedure causes harms to your rights that is protected by the Constitution itself, such as your right to a trial by jury. And if they don't offer it in that particular court, then it really does not have personal jurisdiction over the people who have a right to a trial by jury. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yes,
clearly now.
and you know what?
What you say, Miss Parks?
And I will say this, Eric, what you said, and I always hear Mr. Terry say, you know, study like I think it's what Justia. I went to the Legal Information Institute, the LII page, and just reading, just hearing your classes, reading your documents. I will admit, when I first came in, I was like, wait, this is a lot. My head, I will never forget the day my head was just on fire because all the information that I got in, I struggled with, whether this is true, like, is this for real or am I in cuckoo land? But, just over the course of time, just reading your documents, listening to your classes over and over again, going into Just Deal Law, going into Legal Information Institute, I think that's what it's called. And reading, Google Scholar, reading those cases, it lets you know that what it showed me is that anything that I know little bit goes a long way because I've had my son's case. He got arrested. I went to the actual police precinct and repeated the things I heard you say, and that case disappeared. We have not heard anything from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did something for my husband. I forgot to tell you about that. Case disappeared. You know, nothing. They just went completely radio silent. So, when I hear people say their cases disappeared, I couldn't understand till I got to thinking. Two cases have already completely disappeared. We don't know where they are.
Yeah, they
But
act like they don't know. You calling? We don't have that case. I don't. We don't. I didn't have it happen to me. Trust me, I know. So it
and I
happened.
couldn't understand when you would say that. I was like, that's not true. But I am a witness because I came off, not knowing any of this, thinking of, just struggling with wondering if it's for real. But just being able to parrot just some of the things you've said has shown me that if if I continue to study, because I am continuing to study, that what they're doing, we're disrupting what they have like a whole process for. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you disrupt it, it's like they don't really know how to act, and you could literally see them scrambling.
Creatures of habits. Once you get used to doing something a certain type of way and keep doing it, that's why you hear so many people in these fields. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never seen this, nothing like this. I've never seen somebody, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it happens so much. And then they think you just trying something. It's like, look, here's what the law say. Here's what you're supposed to do. Do it. If you don't,
Right.
here's what the law say. What happens if you don't do it? And I get to get your bond, and I get to sue you. So you choose. I don't care whether you do it or don't. I'm just gonna do what I'm supposed to do next based on your actions. I have no emotions to this. I don't get mad at them. I don't get mad at the judge for like that's why I say tell people to be careful. If they ignoring your motion, then say that means they did not grant or deny. That's ignoring.
Right.
So if they ignore it, then that means now you got to understand the next step. Either you can put an objection, you can say objection to any procedures furthering without having a hearing on your motion. You can do that. And you can point that out according to the rules and procedure in your particular court. You can find that as well. And if they choose to continue on and not, and just the judge say, I'm not hearing any of that. And it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to do a writ of mandamus. I've literally seen this happen to someone, and they were in a court case, and they put everything in, and it was a traffic situation, and they didn't come with no evidence, nothing, no evidence, none whatsoever, nothing that this guy asked for, and the judge was like, I'm going to rule in favor of the the plaintiff with the prosecutor. So they did that, and we appealed it. And when we appealed it, they sent it back down and told them like, "Hey, y'all need to re-rule on this. I'm gonna give y'all a chance because this ain't right." They had to dismiss their case. Well, no evidence. What we just supposed to let it ride? And this is what I'm saying. They will do this to you. They don't care. They will literally look at that officer, hear everything come out that officer's mouth with no facts, with no proof of what they saying. They gotta have proof. Trust me,
Right.
just because an officer or whoever opened their mouth, that shit is not. It don't make it true without no proof of record, no proof of anything.
Right.
It's not good
And
enough. So
right. And just to kind of like go with what you're saying is these people just throw noodles at the wall to see what essentially stick, and just you by you showing up to ask questions or to challenge their authority, it really does something in their sphere. So, although I was very, scared to talk, scared to even do anything, scared to file paperwork. I could hear you talk all day, but I was really scared to file paperwork. And when I've only started filing paperwork this year, but just by filing paperwork, it really even if I don't know exactly what I'm doing, if it's right or wrong, I can see that it actually did something. So I'm speaking to the person that was out there that was like me, just afraid to send something, ask more questions. Don't agree to anything unless you know fully what they're asking. Because like in my accusation, it says the premises of this person, but the entity bought the property. So by me just saying something to the and I mentioned something like that in front of the judge, and that's when he knew that I wasn't like the rest of everybody in there. So say something, ask questions, file the paperwork, even if you're not confident on it, pray on it and just send it in. You will see a difference. So that's what I have to say. I speak to myself, because I've come a long way. And so I wanted to speak to myself, to someone who's out there that was like myself, because that person needs to hear it. Because where I came from and where I'm at today is a whole new world. So thank you. And it's a pleasure meeting you guys.
thank you, thank
Hey,
you, thank you.
hey, Eric, you mind if I say one more thing?
Go ahead, bro.
Real quick. Hey, that's a beautiful thing because I kind of came from the same situation, almost kind of sort of, but I did a whole bunch of time. And so I lost a whole bunch of cases. So coming this route opened up my eyes to a lot of things that I was doing wrong dealing with the legal system. But what I want everybody to know is just keep pressing forward with everything. They're gonna try every avenue to make sure that we don't get what we're supposed to get, um, which is fine. After going through this case right here and literally fighting 1,000 obstacles just to get to the end. And funny thing, right? So when I went to go get the paperwork for the settlement, it took six attorneys, six public defenders to go and actually get the paperwork, get it signed, stamped, and then give it to me. One of the attorneys said, "Hey, well, I can't give you this paper. Do you want to just take a picture of it on your phone?" I said, "When has the courts ever done that?" He just looked at me, just gave me a look. I'm like, "Has they ever given out phone pictures as a copy?" So he was like, "Oh, well, no, not really." So I'm like, "Why are you suggesting this then?" So an older individual that had been working obviously for 40, 50 years, he comes and says, "Give me this stuff." He goes and does exactly what needs to be done in a matter of 5 seconds, and then comes and hands me everything. "Here you go, sir. Have a wonderful day." I said, "Why is it that this old dude is the only one that knows how to do the proper procedures?" But it shows that nobody really has on their end. They don't really have a real win. They just have plea deals.
Exactly. See this, but see we gotta focus on the fact that their job is to do one thing only: prosecute you. It ain't to make sure
That's
you win. So they just want to prosecute you. That's it. Nothing else. They not on your side to make sure you win at all. They gonna try every angle. That's their duty. Even when they know they ain't got a case, they gonna look at, can they get the lawyer to budge to get you to accept something. They'll try that. So
like, what does it mean when a lawyer decides not to sign? Like, say you take a deal or a plea or something like that, and the lawyer decides not to sign.
what you mean
Like,
by
what
that?
is that? Like, I took a deal, but my attorney she was like, "I don't want to sign that at all." Like, she didn't want to sign the paperwork for me to get. The judge pushed the deal through on a past case, but she was like unwilling to sign the
Cause she
paperwork and
probably
everything.
know
And I
it's
was
some
like,
bullshit with it.
"Huh?
She probably know it was some BS with it.
Okay, that's what I figured." It was a prior case, but it was just kind of weird how she refused to sign any of the documents.
I'm telling you, people protect themselves, bro. And when you see somebody like that that normally would supposed to sign documents and they don't, then they protecting themselves from something that could probably come back around and bite them. They always do.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's
yeah, this
really, it's
definitely.
really now that you asking questions, she probably was protecting herself from this day. Because if you go digging and you looking and you find something, everybody involved gonna be held accountable.
Oh yeah, because I'm going back to it.
So that's
I done
that's
got
one
to
of the
taste. I done
things.
got to taste the blood now.
I feel you. I feel you on that. This they're gonna say a lot, man. And these people will walk up, officers, any one of them, they'll act like they know so much about the law and just a lot. So you just gotta like not let them get you guys emotional in any of this type of stuff. And that's really the main thing. A lot of people get too
Emotions.
Yeah, a lot of people get too emotional about it. You start losing your mind. Well, the judge, I sent this in, and the judge didn't do such and such. And then they like, none of this stuff works. They don't listen. They don't do any of it. And it's like, yeah, you don't just say you don't know what to do next. Like, that's bad because that's really what you're saying. You don't know what to do next. It's a way to make them do a lot of stuff. And a lot of people don't be hearing me when I say, okay, well, now you got equity, moving equity now. If law failed you, the procedure, whatever the case may be, if they fail you in that, then now you got to exhaust your other remedies in equity. So now that means we go do a writ of mandamus to mandate them to do something of their job that they were already supposed to do, which is equity is to do what must be done or should have been done or what is just, what is fair. And or we can prohibit something from happening that will, if it continues further, it's going to cause harm to you. So it's just for you to know those specific things and when to do them and how to go about doing them. When is the right time? And you got to know that if there is a remedy or something in law that you can get, then you have to take that remedy. If not, then you got to get it in equity. Either or is perfectly fine, but you got to know exactly what to do, when to do, how to do it, why to do it. And that's very important. That's one of the main things that I try to just teach in here. I don't try to just because I could get up here every day and we just open up templates and reread them. And I could sit here and watch everybody say, "Oh, let me get that template. How much I need to send you right now?" And I don't feel comfortable because I know if I give it to you like that, I guarantee you in less than a week you're gonna come right back in here talking about it ain't work. No, you didn't work because you don't understand what you're doing. You don't read. You don't understand. It doesn't matter if you can put in the exact right thing and they'll totally say, okay, I deny your motion. But your job was to preserve the record. So when you go to an appeal, they're gonna see that you exercised the right. Even if the judge was wrong in denying it, they should have granted it. So they'll work in your favor because you did exercise that right. But if you just thinking that it ends right there, then it don't. Somebody commented the other day that, oh, well, unfortunately, those things didn't work. I have to do such and such. And I was like, it does work. Your job now is you're preserving the record for the appeal. See, these people, they humans, man. Y'all stop thinking they some type of gods or something. They not. Bro, they fail every day. Literally. I was just coming home yesterday. It said do 55. Dude doing 80. No, I know he headed to work. Police officer flying, boy. And I'm like, he better not pull nobody, everybody out of ride right next to him, right beside him. Where you going? No lights, no emergency, no nothing. And it's through a place where it's double the fines if all that good stuff, right? So yeah, they break the law all the time. They don't halfway know it because they accustomed to doing their specific habits. So you got to understand that, y'all. Y'all got to know that. Stop running from the process. Y'all running from the full process. It takes time. Sometimes you might have to how do y'all think cases even ended up at Supreme Court? That's because these lower courts all got it wrong. That's the reason why we have these particular things. So you don't need to think something over until you done exhausted our remedies. Sometimes exhausting our remedies mean we got to form a militia. It don't stop at just a lot of things. Once you exhausted our remedies as a people and you see the government is being tyranny, then now it's your job to form a militia to protect the republic, and we got to hurry up and establish the new form of government immediately. That might end up being a remedy one day. You never know. It's written in the law to be so. But the point is, a lot of y'all get so discouraged and talk about the law, but you not actually sitting down reading it. You can't skip around and jump around over procedure either. Procedure is power. Procedure is how you hold them. Stop trying to argue about names and all this type of stuff when you can really just look and just say, okay, because they like, okay, so get to the defect. You say you this person, et cetera, get to the defect. It's just one of those things that you have to really jump into doing. And I'm like, I ain't into proving nothing. I don't got to prove nothing, especially if you made the claim against me. Now, if I go make a claim, then I already got all the proof. But if I got claims being made against me, I ain't got to prove nothing. I'm shifting the burden. Okay, prove it. Show me. And it's a lot to go by that you have to have present. And that's real. Lawyers mess up every day. Every day. So know for yourself, man. I think that's the best thing any of us can do, is know.
Eric, I just wanted to say one last thing here. That homework you gave, it I was already sitting down trying to understand what I was doing. That homework, the thought of being, you know, reading what I put in front of people made me tune in to take what I have to a whole nother level, right? I know what you're saying. When you say don't be afraid, like we're all afraid. We're all afraid. But that homework assignment you gave, it set me down to see exactly what it is, what you're saying highlighted. So, for example, criminal trespass. So you go into your state statute, you find out what the elements are for criminal trespass, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just sit there, you read it, and you ask yourself, I have to ask myself, who, what, when, how, like, how is this meeting the element of criminal trespass? And it just doesn't in my mind. So what I did was I took what didn't make sense to me, what I didn't understand, what they required, put it into Chat GPT and just basically quiz myself. Like I remember when I first met you, you said you quizzed yourself on Chat GPT. I pretty much took that same premise and quizzed myself. When I didn't have the answer, I wrote that down and then I took the information that I deducted, put it back into chat, read the elements once again, and compared what the element is, what it states to what I got. And that's how I drafted the document. But just that was because that was the situation that I was in. A lot of times when you're teaching these things, in the beginning, I had nothing. So it was just, all going through my head. But now that things are starting to happen, and I'm into this lifestyle now. Um, just knowing what you say, like how you say to learn this stuff, made a lot of difference. And it came to me in that moment when you did that homework. So if I may request, and I'm like this because I like to learn, like have do it actually to see if I know what I'm doing so that when it's time for me to perform, I know what I'm doing. I would request that you do more homework.
Oh yeah, we already got more lined up. We got
Yes,
one. We got one for y'all coming up for next week. So, but
perfect.
it's just it's
You have
still in progress and going, etc. Like I get a lot of practice just from y'all, knowing, hearing y'all situations. I'll sit down, I'll listen to y'all situations, etc. and stuff like that. Then I'll go, and if I don't have something that pertains to that, then hey, we'll go make it, create it, use, find the laws, etc. And now we can sit down and talk about it, and everyone truly have an understanding. If you ever come to that situation, if you're already in that situation, whatever it may be, I find that most just sitting in and doing this, you go from feeling automatically defeated to hold up, I can win this because you just found out they didn't do something. You like, hold on, they didn't properly serve me, so I can get rid of this. Like, yeah, you can. All you gotta do is learn how to do this particular motion, and you can win this case. Just that simple. Not saying that I'm going to take you through everything right now. You might not be ready for that part, but just this particular motion can save you time, save you headache, save you garnishment, save you all kind of stuff, right? And that's what you want to be able to do. I'm not saying you got to jump in, you finna be an expert right now, but if you look at, and here's the thing, when you read the law, guys, exactly what it say is exactly what it is. It ain't what you think thought, and it ain't what they think or thought. So that's why when they say forgery is a written instrument with willful intent to cause, to have someone to act upon the forgery and fraud by deception, whatever the case may be. Then now, number one, they got to prove willful intent. And it has to be an exact replica of what they saying that you forged, right? In representation of. So that's why I was telling the guy that had the American Coalition tag, the diplomat tag. And they they took him to jail for forgery and let him go. Mind you, he bonded bonded on his own cognizance, etc. And then they sent him basically a letter saying that they gonna drop this down to a misdemeanor, and it was like public disorder or some stuff like that. I was like, hold on, you went from a felony to locking somebody up for a felony that is gonna take the grand jury to indict the situation. Now you turn around to a misdemeanor that ain't got nothing with the grand jury, and then you just use a public order. This, like, yeah, we not taking that. And they literally made an offer for them to accept that. Like, are you out your mind? Because we sent them a letter. Now they asked us what we needed to do or whatever, how to, anything of any answers or whatever that we have about the situation. So we sent it in prepared. And we already pointed out everything, like, this can't be forgery. Number one, this says American Coalition. It does not say the Department of State of the United States of America. It does not look like it or anything of that nature. So this can't be forgery at all. You see what I'm saying? So there's no willful intent because it's not a replica of the exact tag of the State Department of State, right? It don't look anything like it. So can't be that. And they seen that. They know that. They was like, well, we're going to try to get you for public disorder. How? How is that even possible? Then we had to break down what that mean. We broke that all the way down to them about what the law say about public disorder. That don't match to what you saying either. So now they got to get rid of the whole case. Case dismissed. You see what I'm saying? So you got to know that because they just slinging stuff out there. See, is he going to take this? Especially when they see ain't no lawyer or sending something on your behalf or doing something. They're going to say, see what you going to take. See how far you will go. And a lot of y'all, as soon as you see something come from somebody that so-called has authority or that operates within the law, you get scared. And I can understand. But these folks ain't right. They understand psychology and scare tactics and stuff like that. They operate on this type of stuff every single day. And I said this. I'm challenging everything. Everything, I'm challenging it all. I don't care who it is. You got to validate proof. I ain't finna just take on the surety ship or anything of that nature without some type of proof. Yeah, because it's so much that they got to prove, right? Just like we was talking about last night. There's certain times certain things go into statute of limitations. Y'all got people trying to sue y'all, and statute of limitations has reached. And that's it. They don't got the power, but y'all end up letting them fall into default. All of that, having the power over you because you got scared, and now you paying somebody that never even had power, no authority to bring this claim against you. Statute of limitations might have reached. They didn't properly serve you right, or don't have the correct documentations, because anytime that there's some type of enforcement, you got to have what? You got to be the holder in due course. So they got to have proof of assignment and proof of transfer of maybe the note or whatever it may be, dealing with the security interests, et cetera, right? They got to have all this. Just like they got to have the mortgage and the note. They have to be together. So when these things are not there, this is what goes on. And we keep falling into these situations. So the best thing that we can do is to continue to study, right? And we have to lock in on a whole nother level. Like, all this other stuff is great. Somebody said something to me like, oh, well, they were saying something about like, or people don't something. I said something like in the nature of, you basically need to know the law. When people, if you don't know the law, then such and such can happen to you. When they say, or if you don't understand executorship. Well, if you've been in work sessions, we did executorship in season 2, 1, something like that. We've been there, done that. We had some success with that, but not as much as success that we having with literally operating with due process procedure, the law itself, and et cetera. It's just a home run every single time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was making cases disappear with the executive letter and all of that. We did that. I've done it. A couple of people in here have done it themselves that's listening. But when we start picking up due process and procedure and operating and holding, we start acting like real sovereigns, as we say. We're governing them according to the statutes that create their jurisdictions. Yeah, that's what we doing. We won. We winning. Every single time. They ain't got no wiggle room. They can't do nothing. They be looking so crazy because you use the law, and they like, hold up. We got somebody that's using the law on us in here. They get to scrambling and looking crazy, don't know what to do, get to asking questions. I remember that prosecutor lady come ask me, she said, are you going to pay for this ticket today? Or what are you going to do? I said, you see that the probable cause was dismissed, right? She looked, she said, oh, yeah, this was dismissed. And I said, yeah, probable cause. Listen to what I'm saying. You're a prosecutor. The probable cause was dismissed. That means that what you're asking me about is fruit of the poisonous tree. And she looked at me and was like, oh, did you file anything? I said, yeah, I did. So they had to go run to the clerk, get the papers that I filed, took him up there to the actual judge. The judge looked at it and read though. He looked at them papers and was like, "Yeah." Case he called the officer name something versus Eric Ingram, and then so when he did that, he was like, "Yeah, this case is dismissed. You have a great day, Mr. Ingram." Yeah, I know. I know we finna have a great day. And then I went home, went on back to the hospital, and then we had baby girl. Same day. That was a beautiful day, man. But I told y'all, the day I got pulled over, people was like, I know people was laughing. I told you they was gonna get him. I laughed it back right back at y'all the day we won. I told you sit back and watch. That's all you got to do. Sit back and watch. You might laugh at my pain. And it wasn't even no pain because I laughed. I didn't care. Man, we got pulled over and they took the truck and did all this and we went right into the bar, into the a cigar bar and stuff like that, and sit back and got us one of them and chilled and took a shot and got a ride back home, and I came on live and told y'all about it. Had everything prepared that morning, sent it out, and I know for a fact that officer felt some type of way because I overnighted it to him. I wanted him to come to work with it sitting on his desk the very next day. He like, hold up, we just did this to him the other night. I already got a notice of liability in here? Yeah, you do. Already. And this is what you did wrong. So now that I beat the case, etc., I went back. I did a whole Freedom of Information Act, all this type of stuff. Do y'all not know they say that case don't exist? For real, they can't find none of it. I sent copies of the documents that they sent me. Sent it to them. Like, this is what y'all people put me through. You think I just made this up? This y'all writing. This y'all stuff. Why you gonna tell me the case don't exist? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, go check them cameras on this day at this time. I walked through that door. You see me. I was there. Don't make me subpoena no shit up in here now, because that's what's gonna happen. They probably erased that.
That's how you know this stuff is just a joke, because how does a case just disappear?
It is what it is, man. I ain't tripping at all, but at the same time, I just know. And I got I got something I'm gonna do. I still ain't done with it. I've just been waiting till I get all this other stuff out my way. But I'm just telling y'all this is because, it is what it is. They're fraternity based. Yeah, behind closed doors, they do have a fraternity. I agree, but I'm not gonna sit here and say these people don't have the power to operate according to certain laws. They do. That creates their jurisdiction. But it's up to the people to know that, do these jurisdictions apply to you if you're not operating as a person within those jurisdictions? That's another story. But, if they do everything according to due process and they take you to jail and do everything right, all because you did do something, ain't no getting out of that. None whatsoever. And you're going to have to hope they didn't do something right specifically, but if you know you did it, they got you, they got everything lined up right, then hey, you might as well just respect it. You knew you was doing something wrong. And ain't nothing wrong with respecting that. Sometimes, people feel like they got to make a statement, kick some ass or whatever the case may be. You end up in jail, accept it. But I still ask questions, though. I promise you I would. I ain't finna just go down and accept anything. If y'all didn't follow y'all procedures, somebody got a free ass whooping, all I know. So, hey, that's how it gonna be. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, guys, like this is what God's law, my salvation. And I was gonna get into reading some other stuff, but now we talking. So, anybody got any questions or something right now? So we done already been an hour and a half in on it. I'll let y'all talk. What's up? Go ahead, JK.
Hey, Eric. I'm back home, so hopefully there's not much of a delay. Just on your, the intro that you had us reading, Joshua 1:8, Hosea, and Romans. Um, it, I wanted to chirp in, but you were moving on. I don't like to interrupt your flow, but 1 Timothy 8:9. In fact, I was just kind of skimming through the whole of First Timothy, and all the stuff you're talking. Basically, it's Timothy 1:8-9. It's we know the law is good if a man use it lawfully, and the other part, if I can, just knowing this, the law is not made for the righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly, for the sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murders of mothers, for manslayers. Just going back to that that commandment that you said, the other commandment, the 11th commandment that Jesus said, love others as I have loved you. Uh, for the righteous, and you're a righteous man, we don't need the law. The law was made for the lawless. In your heart what is good, what is proper, and it's what would Jesus do in any situation? We would have peace and harmony in an instant. And I'm just, like I said, I haven't read the Bible fully. I'm focusing more on the New Testament, but I'm just kind of skimming through that First Timothy, and I'm telling you, the stuff that you talk about, just the headings, instructions for godly living. I mean, everything you teach here is coming from your spirit. Everybody can tell when they first hear you talk. I mean, we have to live in the system. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. So, we are making our way as best we can. We have to play by the rules. But what you've done and you're doing is just helping people navigate this kind of satanic world as I see it that we're stuck living in. I mean, the saints did it before us. We've got to go through it. This is we're being tested. And what you give people is a lot of great spiritual information, not worrying about the details, but just kind of, have faith in God, asking them questions, don't make claims. There's so many bigger points that you bring to every class, which is why, I've been on here for a couple years, and just love listening. You drop so many nuggets all the time, and you reinforce it all the time. But for people going to court, and like I said, I've read through First Timothy before, but I really got led to look back at it on the lawless, the ego versus the spirit, and I would just, it's very short. Invite people to look at it. To me, it just resonates that you're just, and this is kind of Paul's testimony how he came to be where he was. I mean, he was the worst offender. He was killing Christians left and right for
Yep.
fun, for sport,
Yep.
right? And think about it. It's like the man on the cross. The worst of the worst became, in my book, one of the best of the best, because he's speaking to me. I'm not Jewish. I'm not part of that side, but and we are there by faith. In other words, we didn't have a bloodline. We didn't have a gold star on our belly when we were born, a silver spoon in our mouth. But we are the ones who grafted on. We're the ones who are flourishing, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everybody else rests on their laurels. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of porridge, and everybody thinks, oh, Jacob, he tricked them. It's no. You have to understand the gifts you are already given, cherish them, and use them. And anyway, I didn't mean to diverge, but what you were saying kind of led me there in your opening, themes with Joshua and Hosea, and we really need to just to understand, who our Father is, who's in charge. The book of law is the Bible, and we're in their system. And if we learn how to operate respectfully, asking questions, you know, at the end of the day, they generally don't have, there's no standing. They don't have jurisdiction. And you don't have to be mad or angry, and be respectful. And if that court, that, that judicial officer, that administrator doesn't get it, well, then you just go to the next level, and eventually you'll get your remedy. So that's all I got to say.
That's
Thanks
facts.
again.
And I'm gonna say this to
Amen.
anybody else like that felt like I haven't read the whole Bible, etc. that little paragraph or what you just read to us, bro, that is the Bible. Like everything you read, that's what it's about. It ain't about nothing else. It's the fact that we got to understand Adam was divine. Adam did not know good or evil. So for me to explain that to you is this. If the light is constantly on and it never goes out, then you not going to know what the light is until you see darkness, till you see the opposite of light. Then you're going to see darkness and you're going to be like, hold up, what was that? What was we in? We had something that was shining. It was doing something. It was giving us something we could see, but I can't see shit right now. You know what I'm saying? So now you understand what light is because you had darkness. So you can see the light. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't know what good and evil was. So what that means is when they weren't supposed to go over to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and then they was not even supposed to go over there because he knew they was going to be what? Deceived. Deception is there. So here comes the snake that deceives. It deceived Eve. Eve, however, when she ate the fruit, she gained the knowledge of good and evil. So what did she go and do? She deceived Adam because she had knowledge of good and evil. So she had gained knowledge of deception as well, right? Adam failed to deception when he did. And I could just imagine, paraphrasing, they ain't going to put every word they were saying in there like that, but just think about a woman just come and tell you, well, you ain't no man. You ain't no real man. You don't eat this and make your own decisions. Like, you ain't got no real power. You over here letting people telling you what to do. He just said, if we eat this, we're going to know like they know and be God too, right? Yeah, she put pressure on Adam. It wasn't no suggestion. She put real pressure on Adam. Adam ate it. So when Adam ate it, Adam broke the law. It didn't happen because of Eve, it was because of Adam. Adam was given the law. Adam broke the law. When Adam broke the law, right then and there, we know good and evil. So the fact that you know good and evil, the strong is always going to take over the weak. That's just that's one of the things we got to face. Whether it's the strength, is the strong in mind, the strong in physical features. So now that means that a person that is small but yet intelligent, let's say he builds up his wealth. The person who has the muscles, they're going to come strong on him and take it from him. All because you have knowledge of good and evil. So this is a constant thing that you are dealing with now. Because of that. That's the Bible. That's the reason why the whole entire time he was like, man got to have the law. If man don't got the law, you can't live off bread and water alone. If they don't have the law, if they don't have order, they don't have structure, they're going to destroy themselves. They did. See what I'm saying? Then you got Nimrod now. Nimrod and them said, we're gonna build a Tower of Babel. Nimrod was over the whole entire earth. Can you imagine a tower that took 2 years to get up to the top on? That they was building? And God was like, yeah, y'all can't be together. Y'all doing too much. Way too much. You got to have a different language. Japanese, Chinese. Here's your culture. Here's y'all law. Here's y'all culture. Here's y'all law. Here's everybody. Y'all just got to be different. I cannot let y'all have outright communication with each other like that. No. Not gonna happen. So now what? That's why what y'all don't understand. Like no matter how much, there are certain things we just not gonna understand about one another because God is not gonna give you that knowledge to have that understanding. And that's just because. That's why he's like, look, even what you don't understand, just love. It's all right. You don't have to understand fully their culture or agree with it or whatever the case may be. Just love. It's okay. Yeah, they different. Yeah, they got a different culture. Yes, their law is different. I gave them that law, says Romans 13, right? So, again, that's what it's about. It's about people being lawless. People are crying for justice. People wanting justice. People wanting that to receive that. And then you go read about these different cities. Bro, these cities were, a lot of cities was infested with diseases. A lot of cities was just cruel and punished, rapists, murderers, all thieves, all this type of stuff. Just a bunch of lawlessness. And that's the reason why God kept sending people to these cities saying, hey, man, y'all got to change our ways. If y'all don't change our ways, you're finna get wiped out. Because you are a destruction to yourself. Now, I want y'all to think about a city that is fully infested into the disease, etc. And then they are murderers and all this type of stuff. And they going out to the other near cities and they causing havoc and wreck, etc. And then they killing people and stuff, right? So now when you see certain situations, well, God said, I want you to go kill everything in there. Why? Because it's infested, even the children. They full of disease, all that type of stuff too. So if you take them with you and take them or whatever, y'all gonna die too. So they gotta go. Everything over there gotta go. A lot of y'all ain't gonna understand it because you don't live, you don't sit in a place of authority to have that understanding, but or to even have to make a call or a decision at that time. During that time as well. So, you know, it was rough. And that's why David was rough. Abraham was rough. Them people was disobeying the law everywhere they went. Almost let somebody smash his wife. And dude was like, hey, man, you tripping, bro. You almost had me violate the law. Y'all got to go. All your people is messed up. Y'all got to get up out of here. Ain't that what he told Abraham? Yeah, he told Abraham, y'all got to go, man. And then he was like, man, and Sarah, fine, bro. Sarah looked good. I did what I wanted her. But you almost caused me to, do the wrong thing. I can't be around you, bro. You being like this, you got to go. So there was a lot of stuff that these people were doing. And it says that his people, now you got to mind you, Abraham had a tribe of people. It was thousands of people that came into the city with him. And they was out there doing wrong. Doing everything under the sun. Y'all got to go. Y'all brought some corrupt ways with y'all. And y'all falling into the corrupt ways of the other people that's here. Get your people and get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Then you got David and them. David and them going to wars. God tell David? He told him, go over there. I can't think of the people's name, whatever. But he said, I want you to go over and kill everything over there, but don't take nothing. Leave it all. Don't take a thing from over there. Nothing. Don't touch it. So they go over there and they feed him. This one dude decide he want to keep one little item. Took it to the tent with him. Then they getting ready to go on this next war. They would have got their ass kicked. I'm talking about what, and they weren't even supposed to lose. They knew these people was nothing. They were supposed to go in there and win. Then the people were like, they went over, they went to war, they got beat. They came back. They were like, why we lose? What happened? Like, did God not find favor in us anymore? What happened? So they end up finding out about the dude and the item that he kept in his tent. They slaughtered him quick. So I'm saying that disobeying God, there's consequences, yo. And that's all you see is law and order. Law and order has been given. If you do something to go against it, there's consequences that you got to face. You ain't running from it. All the way through. They thought they were supposed to win one war just because they wanted to go try to fight these people. And they was like, nothing. They weren't no real warriors or nothing like that. They went up there and got beat. God said, I ain't tell y'all go up there. You took yourself up there. I'd agree. Wanted more power. Wanted more of this. Basically, I ain't tell you go up there. Then they one got whooped. Dude was like, why we lose? He was like, I ain't tell y'all to go. So, yeah, you gonna get destroyed. So, this is a constant thing of giving the law, breaking the law, giving the law, breaking the law, not understanding the law, not knowing how to use the law. The people were seeking justice and stuff like that because they didn't know the law, y'all. That's what y'all got to start understanding. Moses had to come. He was somebody to free the people because he knew the law. But the other people, the slaves, they didn't know the law. They didn't have no knowledge of the law. What happens when you fall into, Isaiah says, I think it's in Isaiah, somewhere in Isaiah, it says that the people fell into captivity because they had no knowledge of the law. So think about that. They couldn't even save themselves. They couldn't even give justice to themselves. They didn't know the law, nor didn't believe it, and even if they knew it, they didn't accept it, they rejected it. So this is important, man. Not knowing is going to get you evicted. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to get you a wrongful eviction. Let me say it like that. Not knowing it's going to be a situation to where brother Kevin Smith just spoke on, and he knew what to do, had him do it, and told him you're going to get fired if you don't do it. And that's knowing to protect your rights, because this dude wasn't going to do it. So if he didn't operate and know for himself, then guess what? His rights would have fully been violated. Now, would it have been the actual lawyer fault? No, we can't really blame the lawyer. Why? Because he got an opportunity to read and know the law himself. That's why ignorance of the law is inexcusable. I keep telling y'all, the Bible is the first thing they gave you. They don't give a shit about you reading the Bible. Read it. Read it. Read it all day. Don't pick up that law, though. They don't teach you law until you get to where? When do they teach you law?
One semester, your senior year of high school.
They don't even really teach you then. They just tell you the Constitution. That's about it. I'm talking about actually teach you law.
They don't teach you at all.
It don't happen for real. Not until you go to a college. And then again, like I said, most of those people, I don't care if it's Yale, Harvard, whatever, wherever they graduate from, they don't know until they have the experience. Y'all remember that? Have y'all ever seen that show called Suits?
Yeah.
Very good show.
Yes.
Okay, so the dude, one of the main characters on there, the one, the little dude that's very smart, the one took the test, etc. He's intelligent. He's super intelligent, right? But he can't do nothing with the experience of the other guy, right? He can't do nothing with him, can he?
Nope.
And he letting them know you can go read all this stuff you want to. It's my experience, and these school books and stuff ain't gonna teach you what I know. So
That's why
basically,
he was the big dog.
exactly. So he learned more through his experiences because the schools didn't give them to him. He knew that. Way more experience. So that's the reason why I say, like, you got to really get out here and start reading and studying yourself and knowing for yourself and able to do stuff for yourself. Because I really wonder, Mr. Smith, did that lawyer learn a lesson? Like, what did he say when he figured out the case was dismissed? Like, how did he feel?
Oh, nah, he passed it on to somebody else. After he submitted the paperwork, he went on and passed it to his colleague. I guess he didn't want to stick around for like the verdict or whatever the case may be. But when I finally went in and the judge granted everything, it wasn't him that was present. It was somebody else.
I know his colleague went and told him. I wonder how he felt.
Like a jackass.
Real talk. I really wonder how he felt. I wish you could have had the opportunity to see the look on his face to know that case got dismissed. And that's probably why he didn't come, because he knew you probably was like, he gonna be right. He did the right thing. I ain't even gonna show up.
Yeah. And another thing, based, just off of that right there, what everybody needs to really do is when you guys go in the court, before you go in, you guys need to get the judge's rules and regulations as far as how he kind of runs his courthouse.
Yep.
And then you'll kind of know exactly how or what paperwork to push in front of them where it's not an issue. And I had to learn that. I had to learn exactly what judges deal with what stuff and what they're, what they lean or what they cater to in a sense. And that helps drastically.
Absolutely, it do. And listen, you could have a case warrant and everything, and the judge will ask you, what is it that you want to do? When they ask you that, you better say the right thing. If you don't say the right thing, they'll end up saying, all right, we're going to do a continuance. That means your ass messed up. That's what that means.
No continuance.
You need to understand, because he's giving you an opportunity and he's willing to do whatever. But if you say the right thing, and I remember my nephew being in this position, and the only thing he had to say was he need this case to be dismissed for failure for improper service. And that was it. He said, well, Do you know what to do from here? He was trying to say, well, if you do something, then we're all gonna be able to go home, not have to come back. He was trying to get him to do it. So he didn't do it. And so he said he put a continuance out on it. So it's just one of those things. Like they can't tell you in exercise. Sometimes you have a judge straight exercise from law from the bench. You better stop it. Skirt, stop them in their tracks right then and there. You better learn how to do that too, because that's important. They'll do it. They'll definitely do it. Anybody got a question up in here though? What's up?
I do. What was the the third Bible verse that Jennifer read?
Did you read? She read Romans 13.
Romans 13. Okay.
Hmm?
All right. I got a quick question. So for my for the investment property with the hard money lender, and we got the paperwork for foreclosure. I think it's coming up in May. I guess my question to you would be is, and this is what the question I've had. So if there's a deficiency, and then we and my husband ended up, owing more than what um the the company is able to get from the property, can we do like a tender performance then, or is it too
Hold on.
late to
Do,
do
do
that?
you already own the property?
So the company owns the property.
Okay. And y'all about to get this property?
So no, because we fell into default again
Oh, you
because
saying your company owes it. My bad.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
your
So
company owes the property. You fell into default.
uh-huh.
Are they doing enforcement?
Yes. So they
So
say
now you
then that
do anytime there's enforcement, now you can go straight into tender or performance.
okay. So my question would be is because it's in the company name, do I need an attorney to file that with them or just my can my husband do it because he's a guarantor?
You say that again now?
Sure. So because the the property is in the corporation name, will my attorney need to file that for me to them, or can my husband do it in his capacity as the guarantor?
If your husband do it, it would have to be a motion to intervene, um, based upon suretyship, rights and interests of suretyship, and he wants to do a tender or performance.
Okay, I don't think I quite understand that part, but I guess I could say that.
Like his, because when you say a guarantor, you're saying that he's having a part of suretyship that if the company can't take care of it, it's going to fall on him, correct?
Correct.
Huh?
Correct.
Okay, so now, it again, and this the suretyship class that we got coming up, this is what it's about as well. It's understanding that if you're in this type of position and it does, then you still got the right to, um, they got to validate everything. So if he go in there now, he can ask the specific questions on those things and make sure they validate everything, um, through tender or performance. So yes, that's possible.
So I guess okay. So the lender isn't in court. So we do this. This is private, where we send it to the
Have they
attorney.
came after him to enforce it though against the guarantor?
No, we just have the demand letter and then the notice of foreclosure because this is
But
Georgia, so
that's what I'm saying. So my point is it directly directed to him as well?
That's a good question. I don't think it is
So right now
right
they
now.
still dealing with the principal. Then they haven't came to the actual surety yet.
Correct. That I think they're still dealing with the principal. They put on notice the guarantor, but it's just really the principal that's on notice that the properties are going into foreclosure. I don't know how this works here in Georgia. I remember Terry mentioned that he's doing something against a hard money lender. What my understanding is, once they sell it, of course there's gonna be a deficiency because they never try to get the money they overdo all these fees and things like that. So whatever is left that is owed, they'll come after him for it. So I'm guessing that's the time that he sends them, the notice
But see,
to
this
where
is
they're
this
going.
the reason why I said if they've already sent a letter that's stating his name, etc., as a guarantor or surety of it, then yeah, you can go ahead and be in tender or performance mode right now.
Okay, and who do we send that to? Do we send that to the lender or the attorney for the lender?
Well, that's why, like, cause like the situation you saying is in court, right?
No, the
Okay, well, if it ain't
situation
in
is not.
court, then if it's not in court, then send it straight to. You can send it straight to the people. Whoever sent it to you, send it back to them.
Yeah, yeah, because in Georgia they don't do anything through the court. It's a how do you
It's
call
a
it?
non-judicial. So this is what you got to
Non-judicial.
do. Tender of performance is what you should have been did. I would have done it with the actual. I would have done it immediately because tender of performance, any yourself can do it, entities can do it, whatever. You can do, you could have done it directly from the entity. It ain't nothing they can do about that. If you,
Oh, okay. That's I guess is what I was confused about.
yeah, you could have been doing that. And now
Okay.
they can fall into default for not performing. Once they fall into default, now you got to understand you in a non-judicial. So that means that you got to jump out there and beat them to do an injunction to stop it, and then have them come and prove and show proof of everything.
Well, I guess the only issue that I have with that is because well my lack of understanding is when we sign the forbearance, there is a waiver in there that says we can't do a judicial injunction or anything like that. So
But
I'm
there is,
curious.
but then again, so what you got to understand is this though. So if that's the case, then you need to y'all got a full tender of performance here. Does your case does it say anything about arbitration as well?
Well, my contract, well, I think it does say arbitration
Right. So why y'all in arbitration?
because arbitration costs money, and we're like,
But you got to
oh,
understand, listen to what I'm saying. You got to
mhm.
understand procedure. If they going to making some type of enforcement against you and they supposed to go to arbitration before taking doing any type of enforcement against you, then that means they are in breach of the contract. Is what I'm trying to get you to understand. They breach it.
Okay, so because our contract says in the event of anything, we have to go through arbitration.
Yes.
They skipped arbitration and went straight to foreclosure.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
I
a
think
breach
I
of
picked.
contract. The
Okay.
contract says you have to do this. So, like, anytime that there's a contract between two parties, that specific contract becomes the law between the two parties. Everything
Hmm.
that's said within it, all obligations have to be fulfilled in it. So, just because y'all default or whatever the case may be, don't mean you lose a right. You still got rights. They mean that's they supposed to take you through arbitration. If they supposed to take you through arbitration and they don't, and they continue to do all this stuff without going to arbitration first, then there you go. There's a
I think I'm
breach.
taking it down.
It was
Okay.
written in the contract. The signatures were signed based upon this has to happen if there's any type of, you know, conflict of interest, defaults, whatever the case may be. It's in there. So make sure you thoroughly read that and make sure you understand that those things are supposed to take place into arbitration first. And if
Oh,
that's what it's insinuating and stating, then they in breach.
okay. I'm going to read that again because that's kind of what I was picking up, but I wasn't completely understanding it. I was trying to read it actually just last night. Let me finish reading that off and then go ahead and see what I can do about that and pull the trigger.
All righty. What's up, Jennifer?
Hi, I was wondering if I could read Romans 13 in a different translation real quick and
Sure.
then drop down to what you were talking about earlier. I think you had me read 1 through 5 earlier. So this
Yes.
one is the NLT and it says, respect for authority. Everyone must submit to governing authorities, for all authority comes from God, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by God. So anyone who rebels against authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and they will be punished. For the authorities do not strike fear in people who are doing right, but those who are doing wrong. Would you like to live without fear of authorities? do what is right, and they will honor you. The authorities are God's servants sent for your good. But if you are doing wrong, of course you should be afraid, for they have the power to punish you. They are God's servants sent for the very purpose of punishing those who do what is wrong. So you must submit to them, not only to avoid punishment, but to keep a clear conscience. And then drop down. This is what I feel like you were talking about earlier. Oh, nothing to anyone except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirement of God's law. For the commandments say you must not commit adultery, you must not commit murder, you must not steal, you must not covet. These and other such commandments are summed up in this one commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to others and so fulfills the requirements of God's law. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
And that's exactly it. For sure. That's
What
why
was it that she just read?
Romans 13, she just read it into the NIV version, the National Version.
Got it.
International
Thank
version.
you.
Yeah. So, and that's real. That's what it is. That's what it's always going to be. I mean, like I keep telling people, if you don't think that's so, then go to another. Hey, you ain't got to go to another country. Just walk outside and just go read the law. Go do the opposite of what it say and see what happens. Find out with your bad self, because it's gonna show you. So,
Hey, Eric.
what's up, JK?
Hey, just one final thing back to your point you were making about when the judge asks you what you want to do. Generally, your first reaction should be dismiss the case. But there's a great legal maxim which I was just doing a little research. I didn't even know this, attributed to Blackstone, but it's also in the Babylonian Talmud. It's in the Magna Carta. Basically, it's the legal maxim that justice delayed is justice denied.
Mm-hmm.
And so, therefore, you're there now to deal with it. And if they don't deal with it today, that's the equivalent. I think it's in William Penn also said it: to delay justice is injustice.
Yep.
So basically, if the other side's looking for a continuance or whatever, it's a good little nugget to drop on the judge in the form of a question. Isn't it true that justice delayed is justice denied? You're making your record, right? I mean, right there with that subtle phrase, you're making your record, and you're going to give him. You're going to probably give him an easy out to say, something. I want this to go away as much as he wants it to go away too. So just throwing that out there.
Absolutely. For sure. Equity does not aid a volunteer. That's a fact. So make sure you raise your issues and defenses. Make sure you exercise those. And, that's how we supposed to be able to fully be able to operate as well. So, man, y'all been lit today. I ain't even,
So have you, man. Thank you,
I
man. This
came in
is
here
a
with a
powerful,
plan,
powerful
but I
session.
ain't even had to do that plan today because of y'all. So, we'll get to it still. We ain't gonna lose it, but y'all definitely been great in here with us today, as always. And anybody else got another question or whatever, we'll take on one more
I got a
before.
fast one, just to see what JK was reading. First Timothy. I wanted to see which Timothy it was.
I think it
It was
was.
the first.
Go ahead, JK.
It was 8-9 was the actual 8 through 9. 8 through 9 was the paragraph. But then as I skimmed around it, I would advise everyone, because I'm going to do it right when we're done with this call, is read through that again. I think it's going to empower you when you go into court. It's Paul's journey, and we're all like Paul, right? We're all sinners and looking for the light.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, JK.
Glad to help anyway.
Well, I hope this has been very encouraging for everybody today. Hope you have also learned something just throughout the conversation and the dialogues as well. I always just appreciate you guys sharing everything. Somebody named Sweepstakes. Now, Anthony. You got some sweepstakes, Anthony? What's up? What you got?
Yeah, it seems like I do. If I play this game right,
What's up with you though?
I got some claims against the county for false imprisonment and a few other things. Now the funny this will happen when I put in my notice of claim, I got a I got a hearing to go to, a general municipal law hearing. They got a right to demand a hearing to see my evidence pre-litigation. I guess if they want to settle or whatever. But I had thought that I filed it late, so I put in a petition for a leave to file a late notice of claim, and the judge he denied it on the merits of the causes of action. Now I did mess up because I didn't put the claim with it because I didn't read the whole statute, thinking I'm just asking for permission. But he actually was advocating for the respondents, and he didn't give them notice or opportunity to be heard. He didn't set a hearing or nothing, and it's almost like abuse of discretion because he didn't even give me a chance to correct it. All I had to do was put it in. So I just wanted to know what you think about me doing a motion to renew, re-argue, motion to vacate, and then a review of ex parte because he did an ex parte denial with prejudice, and then do a motion to dismiss.
I mean,
But
and this is a case that now this is a case that you this is a case you brought, right?
yeah, because I already fought him as the defendant, and they terminated in my favor, dismissed it, and sealed it.
All right. So you saying this failure of is so you got false imprisonment, right?
You have false imprisonment, malicious prosecution,
It
abuse of
can't be
due
both.
process.
It can't be both. It can't be both false imprisonment and malicious prosecution. It can only be one or the other.
I was thinking about that. I thought that. Then I found some case law in New York where they actually did. Somebody won on suing for both of them.
I don't know. What suing or something maybe like I just feel like because like malicious prosecution is like it could be it's kind of hard to explain. I have to go back and look at the false imprisonment treaty thing again. But I know it's in
Yeah,
there to where false imprisonment is to where they falsely imprisoned you, right? You see what I'm saying? They didn't have the authority to place you there in the first place. Um, but then again, there's times where they had the right to make an arrest, but did not have enough evidence to prosecute you. So that means, and they had willful intent to do what they're doing, which is malicious prosecution. Like they knew for a fact. So that's another one. So it's just like, I mean, if it say that you can do both, you have to look and see. But I have to, I can't remember. I don't want to be wrong because when I know I can be right, I can just literally pull it up and look and see for myself. But um, let me see.
Hey, Eric,
Go
can I
ahead.
interject? I can see just kind of I like to break stuff down. If there was no probable cause, okay, that would go to because a pre prosecution arrest. So if the probable cause failed, and again, even if a court found that there was probable cause, that doesn't mean that he was right in his analysis of those specific facts.
Right.
But then they then carried it on and then went through a prosecution, and then that was either through adjudication or they dismissed it. Meanwhile, I can see how they could be two separations. You got a
Okay, so
pre
here's
yeah,
the
go ahead.
thing. So what you're saying, and it's right. You can sue for both, but you have to understand they are both separate cause of action. So if both
right.
happen, then you got to understand because false imprisonment is intentional restraint or detention without lawful authority against your will, you were aware of it or harmed by it. Arrest without probable cause, being held after charges should have been dropped, detained by police or security without legal justification. Then you got malicious prosecution. It's, you must prove that a criminal case was filed or continued against you. The case was initiated without probable cause, and the case was brought with malice, bad
I
intent.
got all of that.
So
I
if you
got
got
all of
all
that.
of that, then you good. The case ended in your favor. It did. You suffered damages. So yeah, you got both. Cause now I understand. You got both, but they're both separate cause of action. So you do need to make sure that you understand that when you bring that you bring it under both cause of action. Like you have to state which statutes or what counts that you're labeling them according to its own. You can't say that they both stand up under the same cause of action because that'll get it dismissed.
Right. Each of them got different elements. I see.
Yes, yes. All right. So yes, you can sue for both if you were arrested or detained without probable cause, or and a case was filed and pursued against you maliciously. So yeah, if they arrested you without a probable cause, that's false imprisonment. And then if they continued the case, no matter what, then yeah, it's malicious prosecution for the wrongful case.
Yeah,
So
definitely. They falsified the police report. They falsified the complaint. The police officer didn't even sign it, lied saying that he had direct knowledge that I injured somebody.
oh yeah,
Then they
that's
didn't even do,
malice.
yeah, then
That's
they didn't
malice
do
for
a
sure.
probable cause Gerstein. Yeah, so I got they tried to put two prosecutors on me. I got the first prosecutor out with Trinsley versus Pagliaro. The second one, both of them kept trying to offer me deals, but now I'm playing offense now.
They was
So
trying to offer you deals. That means they know that they moving with malice, knowing they didn't have any form of evidence, so they had to dismiss the case for lack of prosecution. No evidence to
that's a
prosecute.
fact.
Yeah, that's
They
malicious.
already
And see,
that's a fact,
this is
but
the
they
whole point. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is the whole point of why I be trying to tell y'all, like, request a magistrate immediately. They supposed to, whoever arrests you, supposed to take you right in front of that magistrate, and then they supposed to decide whether they have enough to take you and put you in jail, to fingerprint you and take you through the whole process, and then you go to court. You should have never ended up in this position. And this is why when they do things out of procedure, this is what happened. Because now it creates this malicious intent when you knew you never had the evidence, et cetera, to take this case on in the first place. They just betted on your ignorance. That's all. But if they do it procedurally right and bring you before a magistrate, especially upon your request, then now, soon as you get there, they're here to have a hearing based upon do they have enough evidence to charge you. Now they're gonna say you charged. Now, since you charged by based on the evidence that is presented and that's enough, take you to jail.
Hey, I did, but what they told me, since they arrested me Friday 7 p.m., they was like, "Ain't no judge or magistrate
That ain't none of your
available right
business.
now."
Shit, tell them to point out the law where it say they get to go home, where there's a time stamp and all of that. Your right is to request one. Theirs is to make sure they get there. And whoever the arresting officer, it's their duty to take you to the magistrate. See, that's what I'm saying. That they fall out of procedure with all of that, and I'm gonna kill them every time with that. Because now this is what you call this is a delay, especially if it's a criminal. If they looking at it like a criminal prosecution, then yeah, shoot ya. What y'all playing for?
It was. I kept asking the deputies, but Sunday they finally took me to arraignment, and even the judge was on it. I'm in there talking to the state constitution. She actually told me that don't apply here in this court. So I'm like,
So
yo,
did you?
we
But
okay.
the truth is, it don't apply in that particular court. It don't, because they don't have they limited jurisdiction. They don't have the power to hear it. So you should have told them, well, y'all don't have personal jurisdiction here. I challenge personal jurisdiction. Is this a competent court to give me full due process of law? They had a bench trial with you, right?
No,
Oh, they had
this
a
was
jury
at the
trial.
arraignment. I requested a jury trial, but it never made it that far.
Okay,
I
but
put in some motions before it,
did they
and
have the
they just
power to give you a trial by jury?
yeah.
Okay. Well, they good then. But at the same time, it don't matter. The Constitution will always stand. All you got to do is prove that there is a conflict of interest in it. As long as the statutory is in line with it, then they good. But if not, then hey, it's a violation all day long. But anyway, go. You the one that case. That's done with. You just need to make sure that you file your documentations when you sue. Your cause of action and stuff like that has to be correct. So that will definitely get the case throughout if you do not do it fully correct.
Okay.
So if I was to answer your question, I'll just redo it. I wouldn't go doing all that other stuff. I'll go make sure all my cause of action, all of this type of stuff, because like this, 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 this money, we ain't finna mess up the
Th-
money. So I redo
This
it.
the thing though. When I was arrested, it was March 7th, 2025. The case dismissed September 23rd, 2025. So the claim arise for the false arrest when I was released March 10th, 2025. Now I was late on that, but I was early. I was on time for the malicious prosecution claim. So when he denied my claim on the merits of the causes of action, he exceeded the statutory authority because you're either supposed to grant or deny the leave to file a late notice. He went all the way to the point of talking about the causes of action and all of
So
that.
now you
And
understand procedure. So this is what I want you to do. Go look at the procedure of the court and see what it specifically say that's supposed to happen. If you find anywhere in there where you are supposed to be able to amend, et cetera, whatever the case, like in your mind of what you're thinking, then make sure you do that. Point out the procedure, hold them accountable to it. He gonna have to do it, and you can do a motion to vacate based upon that specific reason, and give you the opportunity to amend and change whatever needs to be done with that particular documentation.
okay, bet that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the route to go. All right. Well,
Yes.
this has been a great one for us on episode 4. So hopefully we get to 5. No, we're on episode 5 now. We'll be on episode 6 Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get to go into declaratory judgment. If not, then hey, I'll have you guys homework. I have 2 different scenarios for you guys Wednesday. So that means Monday I'm gonna be expecting to hear something, right? I think this time before we go into it'll be like a two part work homework. The first part is you going to be able to identify the law that was broken, procedure, whatever the case may be. You're gonna be able to see that. I want you to identify those things, write them down, and make sure that you know. And I want you to do it according to your state. That way, everybody will have something different because we all in different states. So we'll do that, and then the next time, the next part to be is you defending it. Okay, so that's what we'll do. All right, and I think I'll be the other party that is going to be against you guys. So yeah,
Oh man.
y'all better come correct because my job is to prosecute you. We got both civil and what's the name though. So those who pick civil, I'll be the party that's probably more than likely suing you, and those are in criminal, I'll act as the party that's prosecuting you. So make sure y'all ready. Make sure you're ready. As always, appreciate you guys, your time. That's something you can't ever get back. So I definitely hope that your time here is always worth it and rewarding to you, and able to expand your life, your soul, your mind, your body, just your spirit, just everything about you, and continue to pass this on, guys. Stay close, stay connected. Don't get discouraged if you're just not getting to us or around us, guys. Don't get discouraged. Remember, this main thing about this is just to keep learning. Keep learning. Wake up every day. It's like learning a new language, but the way a baby learns a language is because they're around it every day. It's practice every day. Y'all letting them watch Gracie Corner and all this stuff every single solitary day. So you got to be around this every time. Even if you just go to sleep with it playing, just listen. If you got the ebooks, just hit the play and let it go. Your brain will do the rest. Definitely will. Develop you a study habit, what works for you. Exercise your brain to help you not only in memory, just in critical thinking as well. You know what I mean? So just continue to challenge yourself. Don't be afraid of a challenge. It's okay. This is going to make you stronger. It's going to make you better. And yes, it seems like when you get to studying certain stuff, it does seem like stuff come at you like that. But I think to me, that's always God saying, all right, let's test you. Let's see if you know what you got going. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Because soon as I study, so when I got on this journey, I started studying new stuff. I would always run into that particular problem and like have to deal with it. Like, okay, yeah, you studied this. Here you go. Let's see if you know what you're doing. And I'm like, dang, I got to do it because it's happening to me, right? Or somebody I know or with, or either with y'all, it approaches and we have to deal with it. So just remember, don't be afraid, keep going. And it's okay to have a little fear, but don't let fear override faith. Ever. Don't ever let fear override faith. Keep going. Y'all have a great day, and I will see some of you guys later on. Peace.
Peace and love. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Love
you.
it.
All right, my good people. We out of here. Y'all on TikTok. Y'all know I'll see y'all tonight. So I'll be